brakwa eho abasem sammy gyamfy ne sen ahye mahama ene ne nwia Ibrahim mahama omosen ahye akawuram asemba na sie de asie nyina ne se yenwia ba Jennifer Quinn NPP communication member ene ye maame ama deku yes, one of the aide to Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia and also MPP National Communication Member. Any yemiaba kusua menu aba pontia sama miensa way. Mia, the reality and the truth about the NDC party. Now, yemame ama akusua anu NHS here. What happened? Yes, you could tabra kwa akotran platform so ako kansem binuma a year of national security secret ayen kana wa bonten we mu na yewi aba kosia manu aba bonten say okuja tabra kwa must be sacked from where he is sitting today as a minister. Me person de nyina yenko ne nkonko tie videos no na yemra ebedi kan atie maame akosua manu a o twabi edebo okuja to abrakwa yefriwa ni akwa akotie yenwia ba Jennifer Quinn so a o twa ede abo okuja to abrakwa achirei na yasen aba back ni akwa akotie Jennifer obro Sammy Gyamfy ene Sandogwe yie pa eno achi ni etie maame ama daaku ono nso etwa bi edebo Ibrahim mahama ene ne nwia enti any kwan say we say you waste too much of time. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and then your first time now don't say asia domano so say there be am ba life be a obenya notification say my ba life no be support me den chia ma me maame ana me nwia ba adwoa sewa much love to you yenti na yensamra sisia
to the recklessness of the foreign minister. The indiscretion of the foreign minister. Indiscretion. The only word that comes to mind. So platform is
now why would they?
A foreign minister gets to sit at the highest level on a lot of security boards. On your briefings are Sebi. They don't need to tell you, say, your oath of security bounds you not to disclose any matter that is discussed within the confines of the room. Area upia watu wano padlock wasum obi bisa okra wontie okotsna Chatham House in the video and disclose say the Christmas Day bombing
of ISIS there no
yes yen collaborate with the US asemo ye kan wen asemo ye kan wen obi me ne woti ha na I know one of your favorite destinations is Dubai unkan cheme but me hwe we ni ma ye Dubai. Iran roped in countries and fired at them because the US had used their bases to attack them. Not that they had a direct or your friends say in Tokwa with those countries, but just by the mere fact that the US used their base to come at them. There are hotels that yes, I've traveled before, far and wide, yes. Places that I would have felt the safest in this country. Just say debris and drone friends saying hitting these facilities. All because a country feels say if the US is getting up to fight us, so we'll fight them, and by any means necessary, we are going to blur the lines of diplomacy. Into what Ghana now got Chatham House. Now you mean say there's this need to assert himself, to feel say important to at any point in time. Honorable Blackwell has to talk and give information and who here. Your national security coordinator, your national security minister. What was that information for? I mean, ISIS, so you can say you are in the crosshairs of a terrorist group. What validation do they even need to go and attack anybody? Than to even have a reason that baby a 2 year land there no mu and a mama circumference mona mama area no and mo be position here strike here. Do you know the danger we are in?
But don't you think, say, he made those comments within a certain context?
What context?
So we, out of the context that you may not be fair to him.
What context?
Into the context, say.
What question occasioned that answer?
Into the fact, say, Ghana's foreign policy position.
I have never heard a foreign minister disclose details of an attack ever within the African continent. Mintibida. He sat on a public forum. Diplomacy a nuance though. This is a sledgehammer to our reputation.
Semper FM.
Diplomacy a kasa. Sometimes crampono. Look, me susu say on my paying John Mahama. Tamasa video beto by now because waku Nigeria did that to start backroom discussions. Yes. At the barest minimum. All the security services should by now be listening in on chatter. There's no conversation. As some of Americans guys yes remo. Onoka bihudia medebe manu sese. Nano akopa. This is not the first time, and I definitely will not be the last until they recall him. Nano akopa. Check it. What these terrorist cells and groups, whether Ghana is in the conversation. Obi, the only thing we have going for us as a country, dear Koma ye wo Ghana high stability. Stability. Nanu ya mumu ba power in the history of this country. 300 refugees, Ejane ako your friends omoko in Burkina. Are they back?
There were more than 300.
More than 300.
They were in their thousands.
Indeed, and even that was a homegrown issue. Amanyo semia no mujane no modekoi. Eja tomono. Now even media crampon has been silent. They were largely silent on it. It was friends and family of the people who had absconded to another country. Sebi asumdrena ye won, you can't trade it for anything. Me bese metna brochu Ghana ye me de pa. I don't want to go and live out there. They do went and cover muko near the nancy storms ni snowstorm near dear shoveling snow near the chest over ko ejuma isa ko penchini egu snow so na nane na what they shovel for what? Na Ghana has some jail. Most of power ye dia mamo. If it's not disappointing over 500,000 young people at a time with no alternative, not just say ye in safety, the safety of this country, with a foreign minister sworn to secrecy. Ukodin komo even on local soil and beka. It's either say Jumano Sosino. Your former foreign minister Shelley Ayokubuchi, did you ever see her engulfed in any reckless talk and Abibi? Or Babi when this CB or no more for foreign minister position man is here? I bet you, because what is happening now, the government should call a cabinet meeting, emergency meeting. They should trace every platform and vet what his utterances were, whether he committed Ghana to something either inadvertently and now say they need to trace every single area he's been, especially in the Sahel, because he's exposed us big time. And ye bibia sebi I say and say oh nanu akopa nanu paye ohun otiwa okasano. I say yeah, big man, America called me and consulted me. Really? Now you're uti no tone and your minister and come for us a day.
That's so big.
It's not that they even called him. I'm afraid they said dang on what? In what was his capacity for being consulted?
As the foreign minister of Ghana.
Foreign minister, no more called
a secretary of state. Onyeni
paketwa. Internet emotional intelligence is key. Knowing what to say, when to say, what platforms to divulge information. If information now can require 100%, a 2% is not the better abundant. Because sometimes you even have to manage fear. Riot Acts and they need to read it to him, because I'm sure he's in violation of it. The fear that has been unleashed, because look,
ISIS from Bombay and
you know, for the longest time, there are countries that the very first time I called Kenya, I think this was 2018 or so.
Yes.
before you get through the first security checkpoint, usifi kamu. Kana utimo usifim. You leave your bag and everything, and you walk. If they could even get you to walk barefoot and come here. Why? Because there was a terrorist attack in Kenya.
Yes.
Kenya was safe at some point, but due to that, everything changed. It's like 9/11. 9/11. See, you know, the travel became so. Obi, to kwanya ube jeans, ball belt. After 9/11, just say ube row, do America, row bibia. It made traveling so inconvenient. But yayama se akukwaye. Into obi sorry fi Ghana, ekotna Chatham House. The question up to now, I'm saying that information he volunteered was reckless and needless. Nothing warranted the okai, So let's not downplay it. Meaning pass anke omampin for na president na honorable black akoye de na. By the time obedu hotel room there will be a dismissal letter for him. Without a doubt. Nani Kufuado, former president Otiasi. This never happened. In the 8 years, in fact, Uti Honorable John Jinapo presser yesterday, in the 8 years of a friend saying Nanado's administration, there was never any agreement. There was never any discussion, agreement as far as I'm concerned, to say allow us Americans to operate whatever ways from here. There was no such thing.
Military base.
Mind you, would the ensure Trump any Iran war? When he fired, when they took off with the drone attacks and the missiles and all that, there was a tweet by Pelosi. Said it's illegal because Congress was not consulted.
Yes.
Because per the rules, per the constitution, there are rules of engagement before a country decides to take up any action. Oh, mampingu surround opa. Nebia ya bro kokona joa was a kokoninti. Meninjinti and enko 2 bombs. You don't do that. Into a flouty in the same way a black occurrence now there are parliamentary rules. There was no communication. There's nothing unless say honorable Bagman Becca say we have friend kukwemu say this is what is going to happen, so manage it.
With Nigeria,
there is no such. I'm saying that
to go and bomb ISIS.
This compromise has put the Ghana share the crosshairs of terrorism. Do fear sema ye kase yempe en ho asem we are peace loving hwe koimu amam chuka governance chuka ye omode ye fem mpo no, we still have a reason to smile. We still have a reason to be happy despite what we are suffering, despite the challenges. Na foreign minister kotsna obi man so now I can say or the Christmas day bombing then just say me share video now we AI like what gets you to be so reckless?
But if
this is not politics, so
I get it. But if the ISIS and terrorism scare no real in our sub-region, na Ghana or the military might to want to engage in something proactive. Why is it wrong? Why do you think it's wrong?
Ghana will do something proactive.
Yes. Because the whole action was to ISIS.
Before you moralize or find a justification for this question, there are several boxes that have to be ticked. First of all, was it an emergency? Was it an emergency? Hasn't Nigeria been having this issue for so long? Nigeria, within the West African sub-region, we are big brothers, so their economy is 5 times, 10 times ours. Oh, share NASDAQ, oh, share anything Bloomberg near there. Anytime they are talking, in New York, in London, the next conversation they're going to have is Nigeria. They are big, they are mighty. Ivory Coast score more economy class. Do you think that their foreign minister will go and sit somewhere and even volunteer such information? So what is to position Ghana? Say we are so collaborative. One no black one issue statement to a senator in the US and another diplomatic gaffe against us. So why do we want to on most side NDC, they should call for an emergency meeting, even in parliament. Both sides should collaborate and pull him to parliament to answer questions. Because the boxes they are supposed to tick at the very least, it wasn't an emergency, either for our country, it wasn't. The issue that was happening in Nigeria is slaughtering of innocents. Ghana, a friend say these girls that were Chibok me cause I work ni bi me Michael Kwe Junior or menchen I remember my friends, we work from Rage. I still that video I believe is even on my Facebook. So it is not new. They have been fighting this thing. And for Ghana, our sense of pride is in our stability and our safety. Businesses wanting to come to Ghana, especially established in the south, is because of the stability and the security that we have. That is all we have to our name now, especially under this government. That's all we have. Until in so be say apology at the very least, but nitika just say with the quickness no and just say omo hesitate
like say oman
one time without hesitation. Esno down for same near dear personal. This is work a juma. Ye the Ghana ye don't mind you are holding a particular office and you keep you is like you are the reputation of the country at this moment, and you're trivializing your mama. Ebia in so it's not this week, it's not next week. But when that attack comes, it's because somebody triggered it. And at the what trigger no ebedu hono kwa na bia oni ne mbama kwatena brochi o na many where wa ha no yete ya na yate boom na edwane efi studio ha. Only God knows where we are going. It was me see if I were to me say me pay a tree word for the kind ya me one sha na makaseti ano, but it's a gaffe that results in a dismissal. It's non-negotiable. Many numpa nka odi would dismissal letter beto, because I don't know what was to prove what. It was to show what. It was to impress who. Said dang America for like why?
There are some messages.
Yes, enti yama me anase yenwa ba akosua manu na yete nka. Awo church mu say ehun hia say fallen minister. We preview to security information are very, very sensible. We debug ko jina bonten out there din komo apaje wabatwe. Eno na ukuja tabra kwa ya ene ama ye twe na ahomaso yi. Eni nyina ne se okojina TV so ekokan ne wona num se ansa na America for etumi enya akwanya ekopie mu ewo America ewo Nigeria ekobombo on the Christmas of 2025 and I mean also ma sabio terrorist bebre wu ye no okuja tabra kwa akọ kanche wiase amansan nyina se eye Ghana man ena ma America yen kan se airport ana se a precia omo ebelande ya omo digi sa adwuma no we ena ma me kosia ma nu chechire mu se sa asem na okuja tabla kwa kaaya no ebetumi ama the terrorist na omuwo Nigeria no omubu atumi afu Ghana man se Ghana man ebo aye ewo kwan bi so ema America etumi ebe bombo wo mo abra na omu di bronya enti asema yenwa ba kosua manu na opese onka nyina wa chechire mu nyina yese that type of conduct no enye a conduct of a diplomatic person like okuja tabla kwa, which actually shows to say okuja brakwa adwuma na ye national excellent because na no nensano ontumi nkantum yanto aso na yanko ne friend na ensa ye kan mu ena ye ya Jennifer so to epistem say okuja brakwa eye nkontomponi akasa because according to her in opposition Brandon this for opposition 2024, 2023, and 2022. Okuja tabra kwe draw ahodo on various media stations. Ana all inside baby debi council kita document. Debi a council kita document yo baby. Debi a council kita document. Ene Jennifer Queen. Isa say enti okuja toy ene ma boni a koso ewo wa kasa wa ban mu document no akwa kudu my ho I find the wo na panya Jennifer Queen fa so esle dollar say na yem ko ne mo say Sibogras, you couldn't go home as here.
The document I have the document. What Singapore? Let's open Singapore for. Open Singapore, but send about could you about document. The document I have the document. What Singapore? Let's open Singapore for. Open Singapore, but send about could you about Koko so mu na mo document na father na mo to I just get to obeti yakotana ha ne otimi 5 to 6 radio stations a day because yes yakoto presidential jet ama aba o my Ghana man na do use na ni refi no say yeto yankasa abrio kayira John Dramani mama na edu yes asema ko see ya menu abema ko fubu ama na bia obi anyame mfa ne credit ka bo ama o ma ne bo ama won sama bo ndi pa yes oh pati o muto nyanko no eni passe onwie government should use commercial flights edru baby no agwan kra everything you should commercial jet saa na mo ba power foforo o kwaji ne president wo num nsama akeka we atoro we yodi yenti kwaji ne mampani John Dramani mama de ne ko fa aircraft o meka Korea se Japan airport o kai o mu di 22 hours na ne ya o mu tutu bomb ino bi ko ja bomb to ha o man Ghana kan ko fa asam na ye yes na we are still see dua mo kokko no ani si na bo babebo ye tie ni 2025 2026 say aircraft ne dia wu ebetimi akum nipa wonu ya uska baba uska o si de no ho dada no yemfa nye emergency lifting say bia BBC yemfa ho de acha o man no nemu watofoforo ene onu ya ne kwa no kunkun no oti kama hayen mpacho ni nua no what na aircraft en hayen but what is the security yes o man ne fuele o man ne ye ho de enko na de na wato na ha me de wonya ni sika o so mpeso no obi abeta pro mo ko no abetu ni de no akwaba behind the pilot or then cover. The question is more pilot to hand the cost involved. Once I catch they say, yeah, buying me disclose travel cost, mampeni to paya. Now you far other data because yeah, the say I never go for problems. Abrayan, but we or see you for commercial flight. Now mampeni near Sidan. It was only Apple aircraft for 10 or then. So NDC in 2025 to 2026 existing aircraft have technical limitations. Okay. And now could the top black catch and then NDC say aircraft now technical limitations. France March 2025. Presidential jet travel requires security and functionality. Government now support aircraft procurement. That now. Senye TV Sonia wo uti e ka be cancel enye TV Sonia wo na nya lenti ayo bom ene chiwi aye ye bra wan ranka bulu bia de ka bia na music ka be ti bra uti enye nso nye kosua e ka o kasi mu ma de kontia we bloggers ne be story ade a wo ko so no di chene wo don saka from council so me an toda abani support me akwa koto aircraft abagana ye tokura 3 years na bra ye be we negotiations na aba na ye John Dramani mama na use aircraft no look at ye say ye form ampani akufu ato ye fa for commercial flight nanka bombo atutu kana na dun ko wu akwantuom no wu akwantuom a me pa cho no ye he no na ba the president who do say na na wu catch say aban o say aban support aircraft na kwa akoto na now okay NDC then in 2021 or say no need to buy new jets. Existing Falcon aircraft is adequate. They say yeah. Buying aircraft is insensitive during hardship. The part of Ghana buy no. What would discount what go aye tete aso? Yeah sure. But don't. I go. Your time na yaso. Maybe you see am bontato. What discount what go aye tete aso? Now they are buying support to say yankoto aircraft me boy. Yes. And now they are buying support. Or say presidential travel costs must be disclosed and they were Canada. Government should use commercial flights instead of chartering aircraft. And next 2025, or say presidential travel requires security systems. Now they don't have security systems. Now yes, Nepal uba we are bima wabusiamu da. E bim free wabusiamu da. Wo sabe wo tie wo. Wo kwa no was spice that ma be yam pedi. E wo man Ghana ha. Wo kwa so was spice that ma. Wo ba be yam pedi wo man Ghana. E wo na me tipa sabe so me ne de ni ha. Microphone ma hitting no. Microphone so disturb me. Ye tie we are also long distance travel needs capable aircraft. Na do de no fa free akotogo. Ba me gidi. Beba na short distance. Togo. Na do tu ye too far con near the land kwa. Ye de no chebi no akwadwen so no asaba. Wo si dua mo kokko be nu na si be bu abo. Yankopon wo ho. na asase e nanti so yi sa asase pa wo ho a e wo se ko kasa nipa bi me na me ka kire wo otan eni aduro wo se attack wo se aircraft ne nye enai de wo se enye entimi fa mampani nko kwantenten ehia required systems ehia enseseye security nyama wo se edizem mampani tu kwan de because of so do mani sika koto aircraft na kwan na wa na do the offer no kocha bi kodun so na wo asa
did na short distance
wo offer wo kon nam abasama ha wo asa bankra
wo de wo tuaje sa wo Australia
wo de wo tua yes wo Australia ye da na buy aircraft may be cheaper than renting wo hunu sen ne okuje to abra kwa kunu sen ne ya to aircraft air sin say be rent meboa air sin say be wo dem sa time no parliament and document nti pesie so wa wouldn't send a document in to say, now you're in a serious country. Wouldn't say by now, a buy no cry yet, or could a top rock before Juma. Huh? For a year before Juma that are there, no one catch and say, also commercial travel is impractical for sitting president. So we'll handle it. I mean, one fear burning on fat, the pebble burning chow. I mean, Mammy Chewa, one set of time, maybe a typical of time. And I know what time I'm not done cook for Dr. Mahmoud Bawnia. I dear me, and I'm tired after now, Manu. I bet you, Ora, and I've read about what affair. I'm more funny about banning it today. I'm more much November. Back over here. Yet, you know, the crow. Sam Penny won't go be him to the Jan come and ask them what do not the gun and your pony so. You're done and Yan and I send me up to Penny, and you're near there. The kind, Miss Sabado Kumu, you see. And I'm just a piece more sister radio station and also say you're a milk sadan and sabun and of papa sadan pamian this is to be rough then now what should I make quasi then now what should I almost pump sa santuman so one try it's not a sama I'm a woman penny and yeah there or yeah man penny but brad yet tell sanano nanya and yo hello and now nanya and yet I just say this Sawoni can Namkra had document the document is so much and Namkrama Bantri because of mine aircraft. Now not done for Benjamin and even that time they need a Kotonokra about 3 years time and another Kwadonia Muntra because I am an Ekufado. The fact that is an Ekufado aircraft in ya. After I break the First Minister, gyamfy lifted by force. Now, Papa don't know. So Papa don't know. I can't get gyamfy from New Cocono. As I'm a Jimmy, somebody money so. Nipa who are Yamide. Honorable friends or more can coin no more. Muntara or Casa Parliamenta was original. Mr. Yako Parliament, Million Rocks are one of the finest. Apart from so back phone or propaganda but he was one of the finest the human relation and then anyama you done come and call Uti you done quite now I can't think aircraft no ha didn't me find the two was say and come but catch there say aircraft in here system it here required system security system abane support na me akwakoto me sese nyakopon wo utie na asase wo ho a e wo so kasa nipa bi de se wakasa boda na de mo ye nyina wakasa da wo nyakopon oni bibia godon oye na na dan kwakufo ade wo bro 8 years oda ho te ase e bia wo mfie no wanu ba bia wadu no twa konkon no say touch not my anointed do my prophet no no ma de kro wan ka mo kura twa konkon ana imam okra na sheko kura Quran o kam o awrade o so nyame o do ne man wo do no awrade na sem di sana na dan kwa akufo ado o no ne man e so awrade a kwa wo no akolo nkra ko se ba bia wo ne ba ma wo so wonre no wo no oba wo so mo ama anhwe no
yes Yeriaba Queen Jennifer and I tell and kana wadja ewo okujeto abrakwa eso enam propaganda hodwa okujeto abrakwa ye abra anaga na man epese yenye den yenkoto alupri na yemfa ma aban sabra na de NDC for sure monte ase because na enye NDC aban ene tia konwa so be nei dia NDC aban betra konwa so dia the NDC leadership edwene say eho hia se yebeto private jet dia ma aban dia asem ena ye this tell you some crofo when they are confused. They don't know what they are doing. And anytime, anywhere, at any moment, they say things a one here na wagina so dia ka asɛm a yɛnka yɛnto aso na yɛnkɔ yɛnim die yɛduru no so ɛyɛ maame den na ama de koa ɛne de nim no pa platform we so kura ya interview no pen I think said days are coming a yɛbɛsan afrɛ no wɔ ha biem maame kɔ Angel TV na no pai and I say hey why ne hey na ɛnɛ deɛ mahama nwi timi kɔtɔ pray yɛnka hwee mahama nwi a otimi kɔtɔ pray yɛnka hwee akofo ado ne baba ekɔgye restaurant so ye mu adwuma ye kaya ekosi sei eno so achi osan kasa fa sabio John Mahama yanka ne se yes eno achi so osan kasa fa maami bia okɔgye bosia ewo bill microcreditor ye kɔbro no wɔ ne fie on so kasa fa ho yenkwen nkonko tie video na ensamina back into the studio higher ras media GH on YouTube me ose Anthony me mo akwa bapa momenko ne nkonko tie ye maame akua ye maame ama de kwa Ellen Amadekwa powerful communicator from the MPP and Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia office yenko me sesia
Yewra Mahama Nenabai, they have a history of presidential jet in the Honsense. Your Chrome House is your history of presidential jet.
Right.
Yewra Kufuam so I can about 2 years. Amanakon, Bekaya. In a place order. Sir Jetta or bet 2 years and ye use no. Sam and not soldier for buying I translated into Rollins are buying.
Right.
Tinaya and shed there nibi. Nana your former president Rollins is on no acquire Air Force. Person into no I say acquire commander of the Air Force so he also beko baby a soldier for the nana o use one name I start use soldier for and near ma say yeah the anti-president Kufuor say aya dada nti yen tobi at that time no president Kufuor ka say yen to no na nya de onu betinam but no dream of mine nti obeka ya o make 2 orders
Yeah.
kesia baako na ketwa baako eno so obeka ya mo amuwo muni short memory na mo be kaya de mo huni NDC for year at that time eke can some in fact President Atamils may he so rest in peace tijna mu sa presidential jet in wasem obia wo be kai no they just go to Google now Google in President Kufuor presidential jet now I say Google in President Atamils president ni nsem o kan President Mills babe year president no na fei Nani na Kufuor order na are ready. Now so some NDC for kan leading to the 2008 elections nintino. No muji 2 planes na nenye. President Mills J ketwa no. Ena kese no ye refuse order no.
Right.
Sa ketwa na President Kufuor order ye no in 2006 or 2007 no. And then ye go su use besim ne.
Right.
And I hear John Mahama so otenemu enye ye.
Who for the declare no?
And I hear John Mahama so otenemu a enye ye no. Etimi ma ye history. Sa presidential jet ya hu nkomo nti kai say Yewra Tamil se ba ya ho asem ketwa ne ba ye na obeka kire ye nse we two ne vice president Mahama at that time. So onko hwe plane ho asem nkan ne ye nhwe ne ye mpa bi ma military for. And then who send some like offer Airbus. Sabekai Airbus a yetimi koto hanga na plane imedu ha. Sa nkomo ni nyina ba bisi ye refi ni nyina ye presidential jet ho asem. Ye ni na mu na Yewra Atamils na me frɛ no. And na Yewra Mahama be take you over Mahama 1. According to Okuja to Ablakwa or say Mahama 1 President Mahama the plane need to kwan e command the problems obakai okuta to na kan ye ma meti me nyam nim o se 2015 command incident bi a enkabiribi ya ye papa no ewiem ho ena nyame bo ne ho ban ne ye de ne bai ena mu ja plane ni si ho ne President Mills ka asem nkoto mra no so ye hu asem anka besi ne OSP be ka kire say Yewra Mahama ehun ni mu hwe okay sa ensem bebre Airbus ho nsensem nya afa na me be go into history all you have to do is to Google you find out John Mahama yawo sa mre ni mu John Mahama 1 ni mu ina ni nua Ibrahim Mahama turn the first mo can say plane.
Yeah.
Near now so the aye ambulance no.
Autono time ben.
Autoni jo mahama one mire so. In autoni plane. Men can't say a bonnet, men can't say that. But as I said, he's a businessman, so he can buy his plane.
Yeah.
But me mamo timelines. Nini abeye president. Na ye free a situation ayaka presidential jet honsem. Nini na mu aye man a responsibility so onko pe bi mira ye ne honsensem no. Sa mrem no no to ne de. Eni ye ni na mu na ye wura Akufo Dubai. Ye wura Akufo the first time anka plane honsem. So be kaya. Nimre ya kwa wie ye 2 years to the end of his second term no see debut. Plane no ye no e the assembly because or the plane need to kwa UN assembly. And engine ba akoko say ye e wo wiem ye say just ATC mu wo wiem mo ye emergency landing. And na president Akufo Dubai ye no see there bi mo ma ye nhwe ade ne ye nka na e the assembly ba daachi.
Yeah.
And the interior minister and then the defense minister they are soldier for cotton ase na omo de a whole list ba ye niema soldier for ni hia. And I'm repeating it, say presidential jet ni who nkekaye ne helicopters ni nyina no. Ghana ye dis share a soldier for nsa air force for ne hweso. Na president hia omo de abre no na ode atupan. Ye wura anom de beto parliament anim. Ehun kron no baye ene ye nne. Yenya okudwato ablakwa ohiri gina mu. Afa de edu baabi no adane aviation expert. No adane aviation engineer. Now or trying the flight path of the president. And how much it costs to say president you took. Some parliament, na hang parliament, it's not as say you can't want them. And this before we mu say, play MIN top flight, and if it's a Ghana problems, you solving ye. Some men can say Ghana problems, you solving ye and yakoto plane. Okude to ablaka kwanya to the extent to say, plane na ye rananado di to kwanya engine. Eja tomu ni enye hwe na engines ni emiensa
Pristine.
Eja to ba akumu a mienu yetimi di tukwan asema ndc for kan ye no ye na mu an okuje to ablakwa ya be ka chen said the presidential jet is in excellent pristine condition and the president must use it. Entina na do na sebi o oye nipa boni entina so use presidential jet no. Etika presidential jet na engine ba aku ya ti ahwe form no. Ono na nado de ontrem no fantu kwan according to NDC nie okudeto ablakwa. Then on the campaign yenya president Mahama on the campaign ni videos wo ho ono so ka said the presidential jet is in pristine condition.
Right.
Na ye ram Akufo Addo na ni trimu edin ye nipa boni ni na Ghana sa mere na ye ho akyere yen. So President Akufo Addo si yenkoto plane. Meanwhile sa planes ni ye to yen so just like how it was in the Akufo era and ka ye wura Akufo Addo ontinem Samre no. Omo nyina ate ase ne ekoto ya enka by 2025 afa na nka planes na bedu. Enti ka yewura Akufo Addo ne yewura baomia nka omo ntrem. Eti na yewura Akufo Addo hwe ne experience awanya ne nka ade ye eku no. Eno se there be ensese Ghana president to kwan a with such a danger on his head. Enti nye plane pen or kan ya o se ento presidential jet. Okay, so se military Air Force they needed retooling. Yento helicopters. Me kai mo yaw August last year. Hasa helicopters in the place. Yen nyina kan ya no tumu. Ini etie mu, ini etoba ya. Kami susu se ne ekosi ya, ye nuanu bi koforo ya. E de assemble yen ka ama because ka new ones aba. Me de mi susu ye no. That is what I think. And to me fit last year, me ni okudeto ablakwa anya issues on this plain matter. And I will say it and repeat it say onu on na ye lead en ka wot ase e de na dwen ba fom na anye ne so obi pebiribi mu atena ene ye dwen Ghana ho a en ka ne o ma ne bo ama ne nua no ma nkwa foro sa helicopter dada no na di asama ba ene ya kwa ba ya bedu he na the president Mahama entimi foro sa plane because according to ne secretary presidential secretary Yewura Callistus Mahama or say the plane is unfit. It's not safe.
The same thing.
The same thing Yewura Akufo Addo ba nti President Mahama dey say plane no on tena china because ebekunu wo kwan so. Meni ne ya adwin say plane na plane na ya order President Akufo time. How many years ni?
That's a plane ankasa e buy a Falcon e buy na unserviceable.
Thank you.
You cover by $36 million. That time can you see plane in your
papa. Say I say anya papa na etimi asomu how many years down the line? Na ye kotobi. Na wo de oyonko kotobi we hwiri agiram. Sa wo mpene. Amedi onye ne abetu yen wo kurom ha. Ene de. Ye wura mahama pese o chere so ntena plane. Ese so tenam. Ene de ni nua de na obetenam. John Mahama tu ba ye wuni ase ato plane foforo. Baby onye sika free de mo so a businessman.
Also, whatever.
2020, you can order the plane.
Produce to order.
You produce to order. And the fact is that what order and say way to yaka. Who order which yabi? Yeah, we are now with the bank and which yabi.
Yeah.
And to want to mean can't I say 2024 now order in the end day.
Tell me what I
what are you to any carry?
Okay,
and still you took that offer. And now the plane, you collected it and paid the rest of the money during the time of your brother. And so the only other president an auto plane. And now when conveniently when you plane, I wouldn't ever. Now wouldn't you any day? You're Mahama, you're Nipa, you're Akufuado, meboa. Or you're more Ghanaian. A chain, you're Akufuado. And so no through young Ghana the end of the year, a bekuno, and so you're Akufuado, the uncle from no, the meboa. On this presidential jet matter, NDC for they are hypocrites, and they are not just hypocrites. Obiso Okufo, or they say Okujeto Ablakwa. Me and Lenama Deku, because so ye evil.
Oh no!
Oh yes, Daddy.
No,
and I'll give you the reason why.
No.
That is why I said me and Lenama Deku. I believe he said he's an evil person.
No.
Let me explain to you why he's evil.
Evil is too harsh. Evil is too harsh.
Any Nipa Bonini. Samaka evil now on theater. Me translating that between.
Bad person.
Me Allen Amadeku in my estimation. Okujeto Ablakwa now the foreign minister of Ghana in my estimation Oye Nipa Bonini. I didn't Oye Nipa Bonini. Now unim say wona unim the problems of the plane. Now unim say you run anado on them or drain the action. And so who gyina mu. Papa penyimu obetimi awo wo de yemfa ne so onye president or your normal person crown on nam papa we betimi awo hwemu kai nsam Okujeto Ablakwa kafa president Akufo-Addo ho mintimi nka bi wa ha Okujeto kan ya to the extent say so onu na ban ba na omu ba be ye omu be di aban mu na say any member of the government ever private jet onu adwuma no bejai okaka no Adom FM
le mekai
eti yeah, because say vice president last year, yeah, the no broche, the private jet and I didn't call because she was ill. There's nothing wrong with it. Okujeto resigning.
To a contingency.
And then contingency. Or Kasan one cast a contingency.
One for exception.
Or say any member of the NDC or your penny so or befa private jet or no be resigning with whichever post say the amano. Vice president to call 2025, Manti say was resigning. And now you're Mahama dear, apart from the private jet what we're taking Ninia dear and our offer. And also maintain so resigning. Ninia can say he does business with government. And yes, Ninia any business be not tibe, be not minia penny asama bantije. He does business with government. And Rayati News graphic phone a report here, graphic online. Said that my mind, Goldfields that my mind no. Say I'm so nusu take you over.
The statement to be about we are making amount.
Media near graphic for kind of maker. And I say black Volta Honsensem and also so business with government. He's taking over. It is a one year president. Would you mining concessions? Would you mine when the government were Jumaye? Now woman near plane. No, the Chukwani Busa Wasama Mosima Musa.
Okay.
Yebusa.
That's it.
I say you busa no much lecture. We play in the Biara Mahama Otua. Abaya Baka say I free. Odi kwei enye government of Ghana property anye bia bibi na bibi kwato yen president ye can say that is the security thing we have to think about,
right?
Because President Mahama ye ka say onye Ibrahim Mahama nia enkwa he is the head of state of Ghana,
right?
Ye nyina ye mpanyin nto odi ni nua plan ni tu kwan no bibi kosia ni ye ka ne say
okay
Obama
question am ibusa ne say Entinka ye run anado danko Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
Na ye ra Akufo. In a nua bema. And so to go through all this process and can DC for Beka say.
And only ask me you.
Yewura Pacho Wokasan Mankasa, Yewura Nanado Danko Kufuado, the Bushia 4, no more training where she are. And some by 9 DC4, led by President John Mahama, one count from and think Yewura Nanado, or near bear maybe, and I Yewura Kufu, so near bear maybe or no businessman, and not to see me. And no, so him some our cutting teen. I don't see anything wrong with it. Me, anything wrong with it because you're a businessman. And now I through his contacts when you're not there. But the question is, and Kaya Akufuado Nia, and Akufuado Bushia Nia, and Quebec saying, Yanti Kromha, and I Akufuado Baba, it could be a restaurant. And then I end this if one John Mahama, Nin Crawford come from. And then the only he has a right to get mining concessions, me boy. And yes, she or your president in Yanshin, yes, she, and so Akufuado Nia ba, dear. Akufuado baba dear, or no new right to sober running business or Ghana. If he say, ne papa, your president. President Kufuaba, President Kufuaba, Mamenkasam, President Kufuaba, 8 hotel. I want for my sikanto, yet not krom ha, cansam. Ye 2 hotel ni di hotel di wawa meboa president Kufuaba die ono die oye business a ye chiri nanso John Mahama President John Mahama ni abema die oye business a excellent yate say upon and I am boy yampon e dem woni ma 1 2 3
okay. Also,
and this is for super power president. I win. Any question a year song say president to the Abema do ye. Meanwhile, gold board a hun sense and I yanka want them.
Yeah.
But no one sign tray another interest if anything conflict of interest. So Obia or ye chief of staff deputy ne company timinya contract sir and no your conflict of interest
stories out now.
And when your conflict of interest. Nanka ye abujina po time no ye friend is saying there be or ye deputy chief of staff. Ana asenso buachi time no ye deputy chief of staff. And the company enya contractor nka ndc for beka asembe wokro sammy gyamfy nka asembe na wo beka wokrom ha. And then wo sammy gyamfy what me am stand dogbe one man no contract 11 million Ghana cedis. Munyina mo ya government officials. Okay.
Ya di juma die no be si ha.
E be sam. We aye, oba e be no.
They say udi o ma chi kura.
Just I don't mo keka no.
No le prosequent, o me say do any mas.
They say no le prosequent. Nipa be 10. Omujina court. Muti ye ja o mo nkofie.
Ana me kan.
Na wo ba ya, wo abesisa contract ama wo ne wo government officials. Yenchen fa. Meanwhile, barely a year ago, we did not come for the so sourcing once. Sammy Gyamfy, and Komubi, if you are seeing about bill savings and loans.
Yeah, bills microfinance.
Aye, I'm with microfinance.
The way are more
okay.
A treaty or more debtors now.
Number 1, Obi de Woka. I know say, oh sorry, I'm matching and I do. Na wako no yes or the woka wuntu ya. You have every right to say obeje ade a wode wo no because contract no ne okoye. But no a treatment omo de mama mi. Enye omo nko a Martin Crawford bebre nso so omo report say they have been quite terrible to them. We have video ya. Mama ya say ode mo ka 300 cedis.
You
300 cedis.
Ohia eya.
It's a man can think kind and 9.
Ato petrol.
And na petrol mu di free, baby omu free di ko dru ho no. E moro 300 cedis. And na makọ na wo hwe video na mu di na tem na mu abuse no. Na ba ko afa ni phone. O be gi ni phone na ba ko free baby apepem na ma one ne ba ni nyina ahwefom. Enti abraba mu boy eyema mo.
300.
Ma hu omo statement.
Yeah.
No kwani nyame ni me ka kire omo statement me ni gi ho ana meboa. Because omo refuse see some be accept it. E was statement nim say omo nipa in the pia maame ne ma ne hwe from so video ni nyina ye hwe. Say maame no unfortunately fell down. Unfortunately fell down no wahin.
Mo assault.
Mo assault no. 300 cedis hunti. 300 cedis. Bills for 300. Any bills from Pacho me to at 300. Me disika ne beja Obama. Why? Mo meje.
Oh, okay.
I no pay meja 300 now. Na bills for meje no mu fantua maame ne ka. Say 300 cedis inti. mutimi pia oba okura akwala ehwe fom a wo de eka na ebetua ma no 300
Etra ho kyerɛ nso
aho kyerɛ wo ho megitum 300 cedis hu ti hwe anim guase amugu nipa aden
ama so atua for nti
team no mo pe ba bia mo akira kwan na mo mo de mo hwe abusuafo mo hwe ade we hwe Bema mu afiri ha be piano na okura akwality ti hwe fom a ehia be ka ne se 300 cedis
o Ghana wiase ye o awurade nyame
Obama sika ne kura ni me de mamu ha ya
ama ti akra ma na broso nti Ellen Amada
metua ma me ne 300 na ma why
monfa de aka ne ma ne
ya bisa ma wuntua mo mfie hu ni
police for so the report about say kwabenya o say we police say ma me na be report
ya che omo
ama ya che boys but bills for na make say ma me ne 300 say ya 300 cedis dia ene matua
unim ama ma me mlem kakra Obama ade bi koso Ghana financial institutions only bank ye adwuma na say ebi kura economic environment it mean the pressure be by adwuma so ma projections a businessman we here no enkɔ sa what's now bank not turning o ma change abaya enemy bank na utua interest ma wo no all of a sudden no abaya enemy o ka so ko negotiation say bi kura ade we na mo say empre we need our money currently enema bi ayekɔ so e wo bank for ne customers in term no enya nika Ewa to forcing. Obu okra na konse bank no me ba na wo kana me de. Na konse bank no transe. Lo ka chense papa. Wo so aboka kwa be na ba fa so otua. Bia o so mo man bi nka ho. Na me new plan ma yini. E betima aboa ma.
Yes, ama obi.
Metimi akotua. O mo ma so no do adu court because of the property.
E we ka akoto so.
Wo de akoto so ansa na woje. Enti wo mu de o mu na si property so no den say. Ye be ha wa kom say. Ye beje ne ya dan wo kuhwi.
Anya kra.
Any part of quiet man when you profit on money. Yes, I'm quite dana with the bone in your good. Now, with the page now court. I will boss him. I'm a beer, my bro. Ya did you be a japadiat?
Who could always can obey away?
Was that Okaja or property? It will come beton property.
Beton property. Until
I don't face answer. Banks for no more clients be a Omojabosiana. I know it.
Ghana, dear me to be for some bank of Bosiao.
Oman Fabusian so ama. They can't operate.
But the way of Moyana, ama, my men are dassy.
Yabeka police case, me, I should say police for BDH.
No news time, no, now you're
say 300 cedis. Say 300, Yamunku Yamanona, as 7 financial. I say, Yamra president.
Yes, Abusian for Yedayama Ellen Ama de Con Asie Pa. Say what to me aye at the papa bia etisa. Say animu ya what to me jinaso. Atia mami nika odi ama ene asumduaba. Enkwase ahwe bia enkosona obi beka se ras na ye kan asem fofore ba ne se ndabi. Asem moyi a national issue. Say wakoji sika ketua bi na enamenu sunti ye babeji yen sika na ye bro ono ba nyina ye pemu akum chese kwan ankrofo we fa so so omo pese omo mfa so emfa nji sika no odwire ho a wonte ase na ntrekiremu bi firi ba bi ba asekire ne sen ye nyama me no ankasa ni video a or chirem DC what is the situation there no new agreement be no new mokoyanse na DC karema no ye de nyina brawo but ye nyanwie ye the video we brawo wi a ye be sign abo video foforo ye political but ye ntie maame no nchirechiremu a ode ma wi ase amansa ye na no pai DC ya e ma ye de no
ye no metua e wo so tua na wotwibia na wotwibia obetua sen now to be a metia 1,500. O ye di enjuma. Meton $5 kitchen no ma second. Okay. Provisions room. Some they are from. Okay. It's now what you be 1,500. Me patch on. Okay. To us. 1,050 cedis. Oh, okay. 1,050. Me patch on. Enti na mobile money se mi kotua no. Se mi kotua na minimum so mo sanka 300 balance na aka no. Enti mo Friday no mo buy. around 5:30 to 6 o'clock. It's not adiasa. No, almost scan me come almost. I don't so there. No, some 2 weeks ago, to me come me many every so because I'm free men so say medical. Na boys so medical so babeji na so you. Sa dia adiasa. Omuni me anyende. Nsan ko monko. Na nda Monday no. Be me ko tua na mekɔ. So omo anja ntum kura 300 den so nsɛn me. Metua amom. Me kan boys say debi. Nti omo ne me ade baabae. Say kwa na baako eyi me phone. Nam say debi phone no fa me phone mame. Cause I know na me dey course. Ya kaka ankala. No some family say one of the phone hwe from. Up to na phone dey asɛ kwa me so kɔ enso. Nti me kɔ sɛ me kɔgye phone no na ada one no. Ede ne to epia me ni baby no. E na me dan to for say na me ya me ba no on planti. Me save me ba no e na me mo me de me ha. E hwe on up to now. Me sisimu ene me nan. Baby twitwa kaka ankala. Say ya sha na me sole ye we penifo area ho ba mu. Nti omo ne kan. Ti me sole ya na me de me kɔ police station e be na me da asam ne komo. Microfinance no ma ye dwuma che.
Me no ma ye dwuma che 15 years ni.
15 years ni a.
Acho me no mo ye dwuma.
Nti e sha se bo be sia omo nchen na o CV ho.
Me bo be sa omo nchen na me tua me gilun. Na me tua.
Nti e ba ne sen.
Ni na se me no ma ye dwuma che. Ti ka me je kese bet me je da ma ho de betimi. Ti we me je 10,000. Nti e omo hye no 13 weeks. 3 months 1 week. And I say me de tua. Nti wo betua sha for mobile money. Minim say na ye be send afa phone so. Say ya me de call mobile money. E na omo ye mame. Nti na minim say 300 nka office for nsa.
Nti
say yes sir, omo frɛ me.
Okay, nya but na what you be also 2015 nti 300 na yesika ben.
Say aka 300 and metua 1000 we na say metua no. Na the metua last one enso 1000 minyaye. Nti metua so 700. And I made the way to so aka 300 balance say me send mom.
Nti last one aka wo so tuya
na 300 cedis e ka me do omo an
nti 10,000 now je na what tuya na what tuya aka 300
pay
na what tuya wi
na me tuya ni na wi me ndo omo ka bia 300 cedis
nti because na nkofo ka so nkofo de ka omo ntuya nti na che se wa wi adwuma no kra what
me nya good customer omo anim komo no me nya adwuma me tuya aka be 1 month am be wi no omo from office madam mega scan no be sanje biom some kasa anya na omar prime no ma so boys nso mo be some foforo nti wo mo frɛ me no se debi mpesa me ho me kakra nti wo mo nya abotre na me hwe musika no wie nti me nya nipa me be we e bia me diska me ntua omo no me adwuma sa na be bia me nso nya isa me rent single room de be ta me ya asase so me nwa ne nko baby a
nkofo sasa wo na wano ye yadodo ni mema kasa de di o matem
wo bi se ere na me simu na obi enemi me wish am for me nko kese akwa be mo because me mpekasa enya we nso na boys na enya omo nkasa boys enya we kwa na particular one on be na we kwa me no say me babo na video we na third one on be it's boys na pesa ban gine mu mame na otwe omo aso na kamia mini bi masa mame
ade sika ne hyemu kakra bi a sa no mo betete wo
boys nsa area ho ina omo din apeten e wo ho omo se company ni edin company da omo nya boni bia ye be boys no esa mo hwe mo mfa papa asa boys ni gu bill adwuma no le metimi aka no
esemo enti na kyerese akwada no de na asenkrofo attention ba so pa akwada ne situation no ne ho ye ono wa mpra
na me adu me save no wa mpra mo check no mpra be me mbom na me nya fresh kakra e wo mesisimu
na ba sa na mfa kwara ne nsi baby because so ya kwaji phone nyina wo bo wo mfi
se me kono na me nkuta se me kwakọ ntukwa me da so fa phone ni mame ti phone no fa na no so twe no ko ka no fa me phone mame o twe no ko ka no se won fa phone mame no o hwe video no kura boy ba ko din ka chi me nsa e ko mechi na me sa da person bu mi sa no so me kuta kwala e ho ana other person no e de to e be pia me
because so kan krata company ne de buy o so wo te hweye
debi pa cho ensida mante ahwe e ye pia ana boy ni pia me nti na me area boys no kwa person mo boy no omo ye fast mo koy
omo ye boys a wonni mo area ho
ba ko pe kokruwa tente tuntum bi tetia wo mu no ono e na ye mo babere sama miska ada tre no maka nde mi hu omo ni mu da mi ni mo nim so mo ye adwuma no beta mo mba mi area mu da
but you already saw no the sound there nan ko no ye adwuma chentu ono de ko ni mo
phone on do ni me oni mi pass o ka so mi ya no boa
onimi mate nti si ade na wo hye se mpanyifo nye ya hunu se bebre na epe contact to support so mo beboa wo eni ade na wo hye se company no enye na posifo ni aban so nye
me ye mo broni wa mini bi be mbo me ho den se me na mo ye adwuma nti dia be se an me pempata so mama me dem akoma ehwehwe so mo de no mama a mini problem e bi mbaka se me ko ya asa no me fem ko e be fie wi a omo de mbesi mo mfa hwe mame na mo magamu ni anse so dada nti ansa na me yi asem na fi police station me sro mo omo sa na mo aka ni me ndi hye so no mo nkwa na sa mama so mo yana sa mama a me so me da asa no be fie me bia ye boko so mam report am le ko atomic hospital na mo so hwe me na me sande bre police no Saturday na ansa me hospital so be mpenifo no so etu anamo eba me fie mo bae Saturday no mba Sunday no pom sa be wia say mo pam chom pom say me asam no fi police station na e kan ofie makoma so ade bia mo ba ya mame me dibim boys no ya to mo sa say mo ba ya me sa mo so asa mo ba daneka mo anka so mo be di sa anyamra sem no so mo apache no me ka chom asa me di atum no de say de mo da ba me no me sa ka ansa na me yi asem no aba
njo mo se de no mo de be ma
omo nyansi ni pie omo kire hu say ende ya boten na eno ebusuan ibe him na mo hu de omo de mama say ye mama a ye be jatu manya mama a ye ndi ntum
yes enti asem wo ya asem bi ya wre ho pa se bi wakobo sia watua manaka se bi 300 Ghana cedis pe na na me no so senti aba ofi e betwe wase e bro video ni ya wre ho pa video ni ya wre ho yento aso wo efie na yento aso wo yensemu on the political matters arising. Yemi about Jennifer Quinn assign Edin some fufro bi abetu dwaye about Sammy Gyamfy ene ne ho aba asem se ono ankasa Sammy Gyamfy oye mahama appointee to the Ghana Gold Board as CEO atumi di adwuma akwa deputy chief of staff Sam Dogwe aye amount to 11 million Ghana cedis aba be ya asem enam se according to sources no there is conflict of interest in it because dear kwaya mo fa so mo de adwuma no ma Sam Dogwe no ya mfa mra kwan so ye pagya adwuma no ene ye share Sam Dogwe nsa enti yenwia ba Jennifer Quinn say Sammy Gyamfy ho ya ye ne ho kakra because omo opposition sa asem we okasa fa ho kire say ye kro no de sa aban de na adwuma ebe manipa ba ko abra omia kwanya ento ho ema obi amekire de obetumi aye yankone nkonko te Jennifer Quinn ene ne kire mu
omani nyina fene ni filiga dochi no ye de hwe wo apart from eno bibia wotene ne bia omopo ye sobo a ombe ye beneficiary of saade no na eye weso an so sin ye ka ho asem ani so sin ye ka ho asem ani ya breso gabi nam ne ba bi nye hwe se na do kwati ba bi gabi o kire da akoko wevu ni se ya contract amano gabi o kire da akoko so amowa yesiwe ayi friend say mediatu yesi hey wasese onuanum nyina akwa na se na kofo bomb mi ha bomb nim no unim sa bomb na mi bomb ti e ba pa akwa fe na mun kan na ni pedim no mi hunu kura se mi hunu ya no program ase da bia alaji mi hu se wonu a yeah omo akofo bomb de se o ya akwa wonu ba pa de se onim aso ya akwa eso papa ne so ye papa panimu na ni na ni afi se on ma chiri ba ko na chiri ba direct eti wa hwe on ma age ne hwe ni na chiri ba there it could be 2 years wonu kwa de wonu brofo kan asan gitu wonu odro no de na de no tawa su din na no a o femim na meche no mu na chim kokko tene media wo ye ya o hwe manimu din na ho te se na mfuru ma nyam ya do because still secretary onya sate ye zobzami ti bon ti kura de wo kasa me mfa ho be ya pa no ne na chate na one me nchate se bia obeti asi bra mu boy ye chi one mu ka galamsa se me na galamsa se ma ko duru so enso ne nya lifting bi dabi na ye cafe mu wie mbaka koko botom ba ye farm samo mu be ye we mu be ye ni nyina ma feli na anum ko ka wo sister station ba ko se wo de ye no ye ni nson mu NDC fo nchira de ko de pote ba ko pese ko me a mu ba ba mu 1 year 3 months ni o matimi aye de ama o my Ghana o mu nchira ye godon o mu nchira de ba ko po mu se ye ba ye no ene ama MPP be ye nyina se de ye bo mu so bo se nye o mu do ma na kodichi ene ye be reset ene o to so mo ka reset ni bi resetting agenda no godon what is omo ka biem and omo can reset ni biem because there's nothing to reset no omo ye campaign make can some way ye gina simpie bia so ane ye ka say mo dane omo ehye nkofo insa say omo be retrogress o man de na konye say o man no ye bumfum pa ko ye chi o sama so obi asama so to ko na ye de asama so ko ye chi ye nimba bi o man na ko sesei godon wo ye sentro ni me sere wani diem ka adeɛ baako ndi si bɔ ɔmo ayɛ apart from say ɔmo live on our policies nneɛma a yɛyɛ ɛbɛyɛ di yɛ nnwuma a yɛyɛ ɛna ɔmo di so wode kanyam so no kora apart from so say wama nnwuma 720 to 13,000 people ɛno kora nyɛ no korɛ ɔboa but what you say ɛdeɛ paa na ndi si betimi de ne nsa pem ne koko sɛ adeɛ wɔ ne yɛ ba aban mu me nipa smesi anaasɛ me a me di aban mɛtumi ayɛ de ama mmerante no aba no boy ya 5,000 men boy na no ɔno deɛ sɛ me nim ukrom ni wo brother penny wo fa me nim de Dr. Baumi ayɛ no akora ya nabu ya London ɔkɔte ne ye o twa ntro no 5,000 ma ma ayɛ kɔbo ha okumsi sɛ wo Dr. Baumi every preku awogu so kra sa gu so ne ho no enwuma sɛ no akreti so akreti nwuma 80,000 obwa sɛ Obama poko ase challenge no afɔ ka kyɛn so ɔmra office ɔnkɔ what you say ɛde enwuma no ɔmakreti ɔmo ma yɛ hu now go board issue asama yɛ ka kastan bebe kra de ni senka omo de bato na no opuna no se same kra fro se stand adwuma bi aba na wiase nyina Ghana nyina wo pel company ne betimi aya enka wo se ka wo decline you know why e wo se ka wo decline na mo nya adwuma o se mo nya adwuma men ka se mo nya adwuma na wiase ne se se okay adwuma no be ye badin bone bata ho kra adwuma no ye kra nsani wo te de me kire na se ana niam a mo de bo aban dada no so bo no eno bia times 300 na mo ye enti na meka se me kwa de monsemfo bi bisa wa no pe okay ansentrofo bi wo Ghana ha na ewia se didida na yenya didi preku yo o makeka o ma no apado so o ma ka mfante ka no pado emo mo nkasa asemu eba ya na nsentro bi TV so ete sorry te radio so e refer MPP abrazo se e na chema wuntumi ye man cocoa board ni ye man we e na okoji cocoa contract na chema wuto ya governor policy me take up na me ka se one onye governor policy two asemu aba ne obofo ne de nam hwapa so how does it relate to chema wuntumi but what the otani edro man chira wade chama wa bre otani edro na the emia no say sanko food nyina most of them were beneficiary of our government but what man of our government so ma me chira no eti me pese me bisa say esa tro na be a strong story ye betimi ahoro ye fra no pakopum anyumune because it is the new patriotic party but then this ba asamba hwem kokko board asom so obi agya kan nobody better can be bloggers see bebre ba no obi aja aka obi aja aka obi anka watam biem because obi ame na bra be ni ame da bia e ti munya de man san jobo bia say mesi ba bi na ko ba bi na anko wi ba bi e na ma bufo ba ti ye ti ye pa ye nko bo and this is very deceptive. Just what you say, to look at someone so friendly to make a crowd one rap on it. Going in your first a continent, Rawokan. Now, somebody can was here. My question to start with say, no, so I was reading it somewhere when I was on my way coming here. Say, and company, yeah, but one, got to the company. I know, say, the no company. Bumpty, so no, any company, almost so much did that. Say at the airport, a man another back. So on Towadia, no triumph so you. Taxes are no triama by and fanka. You rent place, but on another body, no, a Congolese. Put ye. No, yes, Zimbabwean or Zimbabwean. The what will rest of my neighbor, no, Yagan and the one again. Why do a ball, but don't what a deal ball. Abiba tete wonwom no wa monwom bi ode anytime be gina so no so yaba no post
ama ne ba kwa so ne ba I'm told say ne ba so ma so ba so enya post bi sa
wanya post
ma hwehwe ma
na sa ade no kura mo pe bia me da bia na me ka say NDC atania no mo die no propaganda no mo ye ene atacha no mo teta ye nyina no oni NDC bi obi a wo betimi ne na bon komisia amodi bia ye mo nko ne enso emedi bi enya so wangasa mo nko ne mebu o man ni bi wonim so ba oni o man bi obebu obedi me question say stand to me trust say the company man nya adwuma say me tra ka so obi company man on fa company ni nya adwuma na me ye liar
yeah
man you true to myself I was so survival however no we are deputy chief of staff mampani tu ya wuni so obi be hu mampani ampa to obabo adwa so first o obabo obe no ke wo office first asa na akọ mampani ho obi ani obetimi walking straight to mampani office you say nipa go through you it we adwuma nya so tifie na kom de wo ena ene adwuma bi ye men ka say adwuma na ye de ma na nye but the question is why him why him with him conflict of interest and this for ka gu ye so and but when you special case on na no me ko TV ya only me say so my diagram Rush Iran war no ya kwa na you produce food na nkasa free na nkofo bi akofa ba na me say krache
exact sa kwan no
meba
apoto kwan no
enya dia me petie ye ya brefo ye nya mampani mu a no ye former president no ye mampani be catch dey say wo free Ghana e ko Russia and Ukraine for 7,000 miles away Iran so what is an Korea mabo eti no ye say
Iran 9,000
how many kilometers how many miles na beto so 2,000 but na omo catch dey say me and kan wasam butie me and kan wasam because odo na wa ba mu ntene ya mo ya bo so mo ye but only misalledly middle of first ending of this match no fu wa be ko 17 and 18 series and dollar ko na ni mu amansa dwa so a omo say eno de omo na aye ni ye enti me anka ho asem there were things that when were in government na ye bi
yes abusia for we eye emi aba Jennifer Quinn na ye so de nchechre mu abreye yede mo besi ana actually later last hour late afternoon yasan aba and be the full editorial of Ras Media of any political and trending issues in Ghana. But when you besi ani asensia media ni Mr. Manfo be nchake sema mimi Osei Anthony and mimi aba adwoa sewa makra mo nyina until we meet again. Adios.